What's up, y'all? Today, we're taking a look at one of my favorite predators, so stay tuned. Okay, so, yeah, it's been a few days since the last time I uploaded because, we're having some internet problems, and that prevents me from uploading because I can't upload without the internet working, so, a little minor setback, but, today we're doing one of my favorite predators because, the Stalker predator was one of my very first kinder predators, and, I have a lot of nostalgia for that figure. It's one of my favorites I had, and I had a lot of fun with that figure when I was younger. So when Neca announced they were doing, a homage to that original Predator, I was excited, when I found out about it, and I really wanted to get it. And when I finally found it, and I think I found it at Books a Million, I can't remember, but when I finally found it, I was, really excited, and I really, really do dig this figure. So, let's get into the accessories. I don't know if I still have the packaging. It came on one of them card backs. I may still have the card, but if I do, it's somewhere in storage. I don't know exactly where it's at, but let's get into the accessories. Okay, so the first thing he comes with are these two, spears here. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't find the second spear, so I couldn't locate everything for this figure because I don't display them with all the parts. So unfortunately, I couldn't find one of these spears in a hand. I'll explain the hand in just a minute, but as you can see, this is a retracted version, and it was just, using AVP, or this is a combi stick. I mean, what they're actually calling, predators call them combi sticks, not spears. But as you can see, there's a lot of detail in here. It's like a coppery color, and the handle is black. It's actually a pretty cool color combination. It reminds me a lot of Major Blood from G.I. Joe. It's like it'd be cool. It's like a combi stick that he took as like a trophy or something. That'd be kind of neat. But as you can see, a lot of ornate details in there with on the handle where you would hold it. Pretty cool. And he can store these on his back right here, which is kind of a tight squeeze to get them in there, as you can see. Oh, yeah, there we go. So you see, they can go in there, and that's why I'm missing one of them. But I don't display them like this, and there's a good reason, and I'll explain that in just a second. Okay, so I'm having to continue this the next day because last night you may have seen done a community post, and the reason for that is I was having a microphone issue. So most of the video I have recorded didn't have any sound, so yeah, I had to delete all that footage, and I got to redo it. So some of it did have sound, so I was able to keep the parts that I already did. So the parts that didn't have sound, I got to redo. So now I done showed you the one spear. Now it did come with an extended spear, and this is part of what I'm fixing to show you is why I don't keep them on the figure's back. And zoom in here, and see, this is why. As you can see, this is just part of that spear. When this figure took a tumble off the shelf once, it broke the spear in a couple different places. So yeah, that kind of sucks. But as you can see, it's supposed to be the extended version. It's got a lot of the same details the other one does. Just this was extended out. So unfortunately, I can't really show you much of this. It's broken beyond repair. Now his next accessory is his net gun here, and as you can see, there's a hole in there for the hand to plug onto, so he can hold and use it. And now, unfortunately, I couldn't find the hand that this goes with. But as you can see, there's a peg there, which I'll show you what that's for in just a minute. But as you can see, there's rivets on the back there, and whatever that is on the side, I don't know. But it's kind of more of that brown and copper color. Pretty good color combination. Now, the figure has a place on his leg there. As you see, it's got a hole for the peg, so you can put it on his leg like so. Which is a lot like how the vintage toy was. So last but not least, he comes with his biomask, which removable biomask is what we should have had in Predators, the NECA Predators line a long time ago. But as you can see, this one's got more of that copper color and the dark black and brown, which is really cool. It's got the horns going off it like on the vintage toy, which the horns do glow, I believe. It's got clear visor too. You can see the glowing eyes through the visor, which is really cool. So you flip around the back, there's some pretty good detail on the inside there. And now to get this to stay on the figure's head, it's a little tricky. You have to. This one don't want to clip in for some reason. As you can see, it doesn't want to stay on. And as you can see, it just keeps trying to fall off. Eventually, I can get it to where it will stick, but you see, that's kind of how it looks like on. It's not one to stick very good. So for articulation, Stalker Predator has a ball joint at the head there. As you can see, it's a little bit hindered by the dreads and the armor and stuff, but it's there. It's got a hinge at the shoulder and a swivel. He's got a double hinge at the elbow there, which is pretty good articulation. Pretty good wrist articulation as well. He's got some ab articulation. Now it's kind of hindered by the armor piece, but if you peel that up, you can see the articulation cut up in there. So this is one of the first figures to use the ultimate body, I do believe. But as you can see, he's got a swivel at the lower waist. He got a ball joint at the hip, a double joint at the knee, and fair or ankle articulation. Now, it's not as ankle pivoty as I would like it to be, but it's not bad. So let's take a look at the sculpt, design, and color of the Stalker Predator, starting with his head. As you can see, it's got it's most like a translucent color, but it's got some brown paint that's on there, which looks pretty cool. Now, the reason these predators are supposed to glow is because the environment that they live in is a very dark environment. There's not a lot of light, so you can see their blood glowing through their skin because they have very transparent skin. And this is the only predator class to not possess cloaking technology, as in the environment they live in, they have no use for it. But as you can see, the dreads are like a kind of a clear glow in the dark material as well. The dreads kind of get folded up by the backpack and the bed kit there. But so going down to his armor, as you can see, the armor on this figure is really, really cool. And which a lot of this was unpainted details on the vintage toy. But this one, fixes that problem. As you can see, there's the xenomorph head in the middle of his armor, like on the vintage figure. And it looks like more like the aliens, like warrior design. And if you look closely there too, there's like a alien tongue around his neck there. Two of them looks like. Got some tubes coming down his armor there, as you can see. Some more circuitry, things like that. And on the back, you see it's got more of that coppery brown color where you store the spears. There's this med kit, no plasma caster. The vintage one did have a plasma caster, but this one doesn't. That thing fell off his leg there. But as you see, his right shoulder pad is, well, like the vintage one, it was unpainted, but this one's got paint details on it, with the copper and the brown color. This one has got the big spike on the side, like on the vintage toy. But unlike the vintage one, this one doesn't have the xenomorph tail wrapped around his arm. That was a big thing with the vintage figures in my life, and they left off on this one, so that's kind of a bummer. But as you can see, it's got two wrist gauntlets, which look like the same gauntlet, just reverse side. As you can see, it's got the blade on each one. So I think it's the same gauntlet, just reverse side. And if you peel the armor back, you can see the netting and stuff under there, and the articulation cut I was talking about just a minute ago. And on his waist here, he looks like some chainmail in here, as you can see, which looks pretty cool. It's got all the spikes sticking out on the waist piece and the leg armor there, as you can see. More of that coppery brown color, more chainmail too underneath the butt flap there. And as you can see, there's netting on the legs. And you see the leg armor, as you can see, it's got two skulls on the top there. It looks pretty cool. It's got the brown and coppery color. There's the net gun, which was a detail on the vintage toy. And his feet there are the standard Predator feet with the sandals. Now the vintage figure had fully enclosed boots. Why they didn't do that on this figure, I don't know. But it still looks pretty cool though. Okay, for comparison time, here's the new Neca version compared to the vintage version. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of similarities and differences. As you can see, the vintage one has a lot less paint details, but the vintage one has the xenomorph tail wrapped around the arm right there, which the new one doesn't have. But these do both glow in the dark, so I will show you all that. So here they are, both glowing, as you can see. Now the vintage one glows a little bit brighter than the new one here, as you can see. But when you get them charged up, they do glow pretty good. I cut all my lighting off too, so you can really see them glow. Okay, so here's compared to two other Kenner Predators. Now the Viper Predator over there is not actually a Kenner vintage Predator. That's actually Neca's like own take or design, I guess you could say. But the spike tail predator over there is. Now my spike tail predator's got a little bit of a leg problem. I'll explain now when I do a review on it. But and I do have the vintage spike tail predator, so when I review it, I can compare it to. But I'll do that when it in its own review. Now the Viper Predator over there uses the older style Predator body with the less articulation cuts, as you can see. But the Spike Tail Predator uses, the new articulated body. And here he is compared to the 87 Jungle Hunter Predator from the Predator film, which, this Ultimate body was really made for, but, they used it and teased it with Kenner style predators until they came out with this Ultimate Jungle Hunter. And as you can see, a lot of the predator Kenner designs were really wacky and weird, but they're still fun and they're still cool. But I always prefer the classic looking predator. So what do I think of this figure overall? Yeah, I really do like this figure, and it's really nostalgic for me because the Stalker Predator was my very first Kenner Predator that I ever bought. I can't remember exactly where I bought it. Man got it off eBay. I can't remember, but this figure I think I got it at a Books A Million, I believe. But as you can see, it's a really cool update of that vintage toy. Now it's missing some cool things about the vintage toy, like the xenomorph tail on the arm, but that's just minor nitpicks. So if you like this review, want to see more Predator reviews, give me a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Till next time.